Entitled mother slash toxic mother ruined my wedding day. And now, I don't know what to do. Let me tell you exactly what happened. Some backstory. I'm a 33-year-old female, and I had a daughter when I was 17 years old, and an abusive relationship. I was married to my abuser before I turned 18. My parents are first-generation Latin immigrants with a traditional upbringing. When I finally got the courage to tell my parents about the abuse, they ridiculed me into staying with him because, quote, marriage is forever. When I decided not to stay, they reluctantly supported me and charged me rent to live in their house with my young daughter. I had a minimum wage job, no health insurance, and they were charging me $1,000 to share a room with my little sister. I finally got kicked out after leaving a load of laundry in the washer while I went to work for the day. They were constantly finding ways to ridicule me for being a single mother and purposely making life more difficult for me. Fast forward 10 years, a few toxic relationships, and emotional abuse by my parents, I finally found the man of my dreams. He supports me emotionally, financially, and has been the best father for my daughter. My mother has never accepted the relationship because my husband is wealthy. She holds his generational wealth over my head and feels entitled to my new life/money because, quote, she always supported me. We finally had our wedding after 5 years of planning, baby, and pandemic. My mother did something at every moment to ruin the special moments during my wedding day. She would not get off her cell phone during the ceremony. When my dress was being bustled, she stood in front of the photographer to hand me an envelope with receipts for 2 canopies. The only comment she made at my teenage daughter was that she had not many dots of acne on her face, and she was going to send her a doTERRA oil to cure it. My daughter refused to speak to her after that. Everyone cried when I danced my mother-daughter dance with my now 16-year-old daughter, except my parents. My maid of honor, sister's speech, specifically thanked my in-laws for accepting my daughter, and I investing so much into us. They took me out of work to send me back to school, helped us purchase a home, and invest in both our children's education, as well as pay for the entire wedding. My mom did not even ask me what my dress looked like throughout all 5 years of planning. When I confronted my mom about looking miserable throughout my wedding day, she admitted that she's taken 2 lorazepams because, quote, my sister's speech was too overwhelming for her because everyone was staring at her not doing more for me, even though she did everything for me. She is a diagnosed bipolar, but only takes her anti-anxiety medicines as sleeping pills. I'm not really sure where to go from here. I've tried no contact for over a year. Then, when I get pregnant with my second daughter, I rekindled the relationship in hopes that my wedding would be a special day for them too. I tried to have a conversation explaining what she did hurt, and my brother, but she passed out from taking too many anti-anxiety pills in the middle of our conversation. My stepfather is an alcoholic, addicted to opioids, and has been a zombie for the last 5 years, so we haven't had much of a relationship. But in my 20s, he was my only protector from my mom's cruel judgment. Now that my wedding has passed, I'm not sure what to do next. What's the point of continuing a relationship? I don't want them around my children. I'm 451 days sober, and I feel like they're only triggers I have left to overcome. Hey guys, so I want to read a comment from the original thread on this story. I think it sums up my opinion pretty well, and a lot of people upvoted it. You know what needs to be done? You just need to do it. You don't need their abuse in your life, and from the way it sounds, your entitled mother is not worth having a relationship with. Plus, since she's already went and abused your child, it's time for you to go full mama bear mode and go no contact with her forever. You don't need her BS in your life or your child's. Dump her and move on living a great life without ever thinking about her ever again. Guys, let me know exactly what you think of that in the comment section down below. I agree with that. I think that OP does need to cut out the mother. Our next story is titled, Female 26, Mom 53, has a list of people that she wants to invite to the wedding. That is longer than my fiance and my list combined. Let's get right into it. From the mom who got a bigger wedding ring because she was jealous of her daughter's engagement ring, I bring you the next installment of Entitled Mothering. My fiance and I decided to have a small wedding. I say this with quotes because I'm an Indian and Hindu weddings are usually 300 plus people and last 4 to 5 days. My fiance is American and I'm American born and raised. However, I am the first cousin to marry on my mom and dad's side, and it's becoming apparent they don't even want to be in the same building. They're divorced and hate each other, but that's another story, I guess. Anyways, when we first got engaged, our limit was 150 people. I was already pushing my fiance because he was dead set on 100. But I knew that was going to be impossible, so I convinced him to just do 150. Once we told my mom that number, she about spat out her drink. "Is that a hard number?" we tried to say. Over the first 4 months of us being engaged, we started talking and Mom was paying for the catering over our heads. "If I'm paying for the food, then why does it matter how many people I invite?" That's how it started. We fought every time we talked about it, and I told my fiance to please raise it to 175 to allow my mom to invite her people and I could have some peace. Save the dates have come and gone, and Mom and I finally talk about the list. I already had her for 60. Names including some of her friends and distant family I haven't seen in years. This already was more than I had wanted, but I thought she would be happy. As we go through the list, she adds a cousin and a wife here and an auntie and husband there. Final number was 125. My fiance and I have 110 people, and I start panicking and telling her to stop adding people. She goes on a full rant about how I'm selfish and the one who wanted to have a wedding that wasn't a destination or get eloped, so I don't have to invite all these people. What? So just because I won't invite an extra 60 family members I don't even know the names of, we did not deserve a wedding to celebrate with our closest loved ones? The amount of times I've heard, quote, "Can we change the venue?" Or, "Well, it's your fault for choosing such a small place." Instead of just respecting our wishes, she's trying to find any loophole to allow more and more people to come. Or just insult me until I feel bad enough to let it slide. I also made the mistake of making my sister maid of honor. Because, well, she basically just backs everything Mom says, and won't stand up for me at all. Well, I'm not giving her any physical copies, and that's the only way I'm hopefully able to control who these get sent to. I don't know, y'all. It's been kind of a nightmare with her, and it's really putting a damper on our relationship. What would you do? I just wanted to vent. So, I think the reason the entitled mother of this story feels like she has so much pull, it's because she's paying for the catering. I think if OP can somehow afford to pay for the catering, it'll limit how much her mom will be in power. Then OP can take over the list and invite who she wants. I think that's the best solution, and in my opinion, that's what I would try. Our final story of the day, guys. My mom wants me to wake up before work and cook her dinner. Yes, I know, I'm a 15-year-old female, and my mother wants me to cook for her entire family. Guys, let's get right into it. Backstory. I'm a 15-year-old female, and I volunteer at somewhere similar to the YMCA to meet my graduation volunteer hour requirements. For the rest of the story, I'm going to call it work because, well, it is work. I'm just getting paid in volunteer hours, while some my age are getting paid in money. Another thing is, I promised my mom I'd cook more this summer because, quote, however will I find a husband if I can't cook every dish known to man? I only agreed because she said I couldn't work or volunteer this summer if I didn't. Anyways, on to what happened. My hours are from 10:30 to 4, so I figured it would be best if I come home, shower, then make dinner. The first day was fine, but when I came home on the second day, my mom was annoyed. She did not even say hello before she scolded me for not making any food that day. I told her I would after I go shower. She asked me what I expected my family of 7, including me, to eat while I was gone. I was dumbfounded as there are 4 able-bodied adults in this home who could cook food or order it. Plus, there was a bit of leftovers in the fridge, not to mention snacks. I asked her what she wanted me to do because about the hat since I could not leave work early. She told me I should wake up before my shift and cook for the family. Now, I'm angry. I told her that's ridiculous and that I was a teenager, not a mom. I should not have to wake up early and make food for us. Not to mention when $5 fell out of my pocket at work and I needed lunch, she told me to fast or diet and it won't kill me. So I did not eat anything for my 6-hour shift. She told me that this was the only way to prepare me for the future. For when I had my own family, husbands, and kids to cook for. Funny how she did not do this for my brother, 18 male, even though he's going to college after summer ends, so his, quote, future family is closer than mine. Then I said the very thing from her that was nightmares. Well, thanks for showing me because I now don't want a husband and kids if this is what I have to suffer through. She screamed not to say that because it might make me infertile. And I said I don't care. I was then yelled at for saying that. Oh, and by the way, the whole time I was crying a bit from stress. FML? I think this is a toxic situation that OP's in. However, I read a very interesting punchline that OP could have used against the toxic mother. Here we go. If I've been in your shoes, I probably would have said something along the lines of, well, why? Why do I need to learn how to cook? I can just force my daughter to do it, despite 4 able-bodied adults being around. Checkmate, hook, line, and sinker. Guys, I hope you all enjoyed the stories today. Subscribe to the channel if you're new so you never miss an update. I hope each and all one of you have a wonderful day, and remember, it's cool to be kind. I'll see you guys tomorrow.